Welcome, welcome, welcome. Me and Snoopy are back on our Radiohead journey for The King of Limbs. I am actually kind of nervous for this because of the amount of different opinions on The King of Limbs. This appears to be like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. I've seen loads of people say that it's one of their favourites, and then I've seen a lot of people say that it's just not very good at all. Literally just looking from the plays on the album, we can see that it is not one of their more popular albums because, the most popular song is Lotus Flower. I just don't know what to expect at all in this. I think, though, without further ado, we just have to start. First song is Bloom. This is so weird. It's like super syncopated, not on beat at all. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if that's a bass. Okay, this is really weird. I mean, Tom's voice sounds great as per usual, but I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this instrumental part. I do really like the vocal effect on Tom's voice here. It's very spacey with the reverb. Okay. I like this. The drums are really repetitive in this. I do like those brass instruments though. That does. Okay. 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 I like how it says the lyric hand to this ear before Tom really sings it. Oh wow. Okay, this end bit's pretty cool. There's like so much sound here. Okay. Sounds like it's on a tape and it just keeps repeating the same thing. Okay, oh. Yeah, this bass line is really good. Okay. That was Bloom. For me personally, the drum pattern was a little bit too repetitive in the song. In that bass line, it just could have shined so much more. Like at the end there, you can really hear in it. It sounds so good. But I think it just gets very overshadowed in the rest of the song with everything else that is going on. And I generally have not a clue what the lyrics could be about. Open your mouth wide, a universal sigh, and while the ocean blooms, it's what keeps me alive. Yeah, I'm gonna be so honest. I don't think I have any clue what this song could be about. Maybe something to do with the world being bigger and having a different purpose than we think? I don't know. Ah yes, as per usual, the really helpful about section. There's literally not even that many annotations on this. Okay, reading the side annotations here, I'm getting themes of sort of life, and this annotation here starts off with being a kid when you're being fed, so maybe something to do with been spoon-fed things your whole life, and then it ends here with people gazing at him, which I guess could do with Tom being a celebrity, and people sort of just like watching him from afar. I know that there's literally not really much about this song. I have a feeling this whole album may potentially be like this, where there's just not much about it at all. But the next song that we have got up is Morning, Mr. Magpie. Okay. This is more my thing. Interesting guitar parts here. Okay. I like that guitar part. I feel like all 3 guitar parts I'm feeling in the different parts of my brain. You've got one of them which is on, like, been panned to my left ear, then you've got this middle guitar which I can hear on both sides, and then you've got this last guitar that was added which is just in this ear, which is really cool to do. Oh, Tom's voice just sounds great as per usual, honestly. Oh, okay. A funky bass line. Okay. Sounds like this guitar in this ear is following the melody of Tom's vocals. Yeah, the guitars are following Tom's melody line. Oh, I love that bass. I actually quite like how they don't just have the bass constantly throughout the song. They bring it in at certain moments, which I think makes the bass more noticeable to actually listen to. Again, the drums are really weird in this too. They just don't feel like they're on beat at all, or like something feels offbeat. Oh wow. Got like Tom doing like some ad-libby bits here. Okay. Oof. Those like gasps of air. Okay. Ooh. Oh, what a beautiful vocal from Tom. That don't followed on for so long. This is so weird, this song. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, the vocal effect there is really cool. Okay. Just got this part at the end. Does it go into anything? Okay, no. This is the fading out of the song. Again, Radiohead it just sounds like I can hear birds at the end here. No. Like here. Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, I love how Radiohead have such a good, authentic way of putting atmosphere into a song. I think that's something that a lot of music lacks nowadays, is the atmosphere which sort of tells this underlying story, I think, either in a song or an album. And most of the time now, because songs are so studio produced and, you know, a lot of the instruments that are used now are electronic instruments or synths, there's not really I don't find there's no background noise to things anymore. And I find Radiohead, this is something that these guys are really good at doing, is adding sort of like that background noise to things. Another great artist who does this is Frank Ocean. There's sort of an underlying story being told just with the atmosphere alone on top of everything else. I would say for me personally, the guitars in this were a little bit repetitive. I know Radiohead do make a lot of their songs to be quite repetitive, but there's just something about the way that they do it which doesn't feel repetitive, whereas this, I'm not gonna lie, for me it does, especially the drums and the guitars. It's very samey throughout the whole song, and I think they could, you know, do what they used to do and like really switch it up. I mean, obviously, you know, they're such a famous band, everything that they do is done with intentionality. There's definitely a reason behind the reason that they do things, you know. This song reminds me for some reason I'm getting like 1984 George Orwell vibes here from the Good Morning Mr. Magpie kind of thing, and it sort of feels like orderly conversation that the main character Winston sort of would have had with his neighbours, and it sort of makes me think of the government sort of stripping away, I mean not even necessarily the government, but just like people who have more power than you sort of stripping away everything that you know, and you're just conditioned to believe what's put right in front of you, which to be fair I might also be thinking this because I'm currently reading A Brave New World, which is exactly what this book's about, but I don't know why these lyrics just make me think of like 1984 George Orwell vibes. Honestly, these genius annotations on here are not very good. I mean, the video is private, so we can't even experience more here. It was actually called Morning Me Lord. Here, there's a reference of a magpie, which is to do in England, or it says here, European folklore, is to do with superstition, and in here kind of relates to what I was saying, where it says Tom uses the magpie with its labelled trait of stealing things to point the finger at corporations and businesses and blame them for stealing everything. York demands it back. It could refer to a friend stealing something of York's, but his use of all suggests that the thief is something much bigger. Yeah, the song's about the information age, Twitter headlines, the corporate media simplifying things, and the effect that that has on people's ability to focus. I do think something that I find very interesting about Radiohead's lyrics and the way that they write songs, I do find it crazy that as many years ago as some of these things were, how relevant a lot of the stuff that they talk about is still in today's society. It still has a relevance now. Next song we have got Little by Little. I feel like I've heard this song before. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. This guitar pattern is super weird. It's like feels like a call and response in one ear and then it plays into the other ear. There's so much percussion here too. Ooh, I actually really like this part. I love how, hold up, I actually really like that part. I love how the falsetto sounds with Tom singing it, and I love how the guitars follow Tom singing. I'm gonna go back. Okay, I actually really like this part. Okay, I actually like that part of the song. That was really nice. Okay. Alright. Nice little open hat. Okay, and they took that away. The guitars on this are so, like, they're, like, intense. They're not gritty, they just feels really, like, dark and eerie. I really like this guitar. It's so good. I love how all the chords are just following Tom's voice. Or, I mean, you know, it could be vice versa. Tom's voice is following the chords. But everything in those parts, apart from the drums, which is, you know, completely different, sounds like they all follow each other. It's like it's gone from this to then, like, just in sync. Another weird vocal effect on Tom's voice here. Okay. Alright. Okay, the drums are kind of subtle in this. They kind of just came back then. I didn't even really realize, to be honest. I do like this part of the song. The little by little part. This, I do like this. It sounds like there's some reversal of the strings there. I love that. I love when they reverse the guitar parts. Sort of feels like it's building up here a little bit. Okay, well that was interesting. This far out of the 3 songs I've listened to, this one has been my favourite. Stop! No! Stop. Yeah, this one's been my favourite so far because I think the little by little part on the songs is actually really quite catchy. I really enjoyed the guitar parts as well in those segments where everything, the chords and everything just kind of seem to fit together. I would say something I have noticed about this album is the drums. You guys know me, if you've seen my other reactions, I do love a good bass line and a good drum line, and I'm not really getting, I don't know, there's nothing about the drums here which are clicking to me. I'm trying to give this album the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to have a positive mindset, but I think because I've just seen so much about it that maybe's my bias is off here. But I don't know, I don't know. It's a good song, and again, it does make me think of, especially this last bit here, where was it? Routines and schedules, a job that's killing you. Makes me think of how we're just sort of living to get by on this job that most of us don't even like, but, you know, little by little, by hook or by crook, we're trying to scamper around and find anything that we can just to sort of get by. The vocals seem to be describing a person who's become bitter and cynical due to their lack of outlet from everyday burdens. By hook or crook is an idiom, meaning by any means necessary. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying, that just trying to get by. Little things in life erode away your humanity, living 9 to 5 on a schedule, and little problems and duties which tire you out and break you down slowly. Reminiscent of the band's OK Computer era, themes explored in songs like Fitter, Happier, Palo Alto, and of course, No Surprises, where a very similar sentence is used. Yeah, okay, this song is just sort of about everyday life and how sort of the little things can start to wear each of us down, and honestly just trying to get by in life, it seems like. Next song is Feral. Okay. I do like the in it. I like how it also, it's not the same velocity or the same volume every time it comes on. The drums in this are a bit more punchier too. I do like that cake. Okay. It's some interesting vocal effects here. I really like that. Yes! A bass part! Hold up, sorry. I need to hear that bass. I love the vocal effect that's there, and then the bass just comes in. This is a really interesting, weird song, to be honest. Okay. The vocals you got. Weird. Oh. I like that deep synth there. This is a really strange song, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually really quite like this. Even the drums in it have got more of a groove than the other few songs. The drums are just so... Sorry, in each of the songs, the drum pattern has such a specific rhythm that it's following. I'm not a drummer, so I really don't know what kind of pattern it is, but it just sounds so different. It sounds a bit more jazzy funk style, which I could totally be off, by the way. But it just, I don't know, it just has a total different vibe to their previous albums, the drums in this album. But there's that, what sounds like a synth bass spark, which I like. Okay. I like this. Again, it's coming in at different velocities. Oh, that bass. Dude, that's so good. Snoopy, what do you think of this one? Ooh. Oh, I love the sound of that. Hold up. Hang on. I love how it goes from the drums in all those vocal effects to just completely stripping it back to just that bass. That's so dirty. I love that bass. Holy, so gritty. Damn. Okay. That was feral. Do you know what? If I was to describe that bass line, I would say that was feral. That bass line was feral. I don't even know what to say. This song was so freaking weird, yet I actually really liked it. This song might be this weird, but I actually like it more than the first 3 songs that we've just listened to. I don't know how, I don't know why. I think the instrument choice here was just actually, like, really good. You are not mine, and I am not yours, and that's okay. Please don't judge. Literally have no idea what those lyrics could even mean. Does this song... Okay, it has a bit more of a deep dive here. The shortest song on Radiohead's shortest album, Feral, is a bustle and flurry of percussion and deep bass that frontman Tom York would further and more deeply explore on his later project. Like most of the music on The King of Limbs, the band's recordings for the song were stretched apart and put back together in dizzying and disorienting ways by York and longtime Radiohead producer Nigel Godrich on their computers. The result is arguably the most alien-sounding track on an already extraterrestrial-sounding record. You know what? That was actually funny, because from the first song that I listened to, the sound in it made me think of, like, a spaceship kind of thing. So the fact that they're mentioning, like, an extraterrestrial sound here, yeah. Along with most tracks on The King of Limbs, this song sounds wildly different live, perhaps more than all the other tracks here, with a greater focus on performance and energy, rather than timbre as in the studio version. Despite being the briefest track lyrically on The King of Limbs, it's also perhaps the easiest to decode. At the end of a relationship, York feels like a feral animal, once tamed, now alone and out in the wild. Wow. I'm not yours, you're not mine. It's all fine, please don't judge. Okay, this was actually a great explanation on the song. I wish more of the about sections were like this. I think that it's actually really helpful when they're like this. And next up, we've got Lotus Flower. This is actually the most popular song from this album by a substantial amount. So I'm curious as to why this is more listened to than the other songs. Okay, I already see why. Starting off with a really strong bass there with some groovy drums. That bass is so weird. It doesn't sound like it's on a bass. It sounds more electronic. Okay. Oh, I just realised it was the volume slowly getting louder here, it feels like. Yes, that also did just turn up. This is so weird. Those drums are so cool. I like that. Like the guitar. Ooh. Okay, Tom's voice in this sounds incredible. Alright. No drums here. Okay, and they're back, of course. Oh! Okay. Oh, Hold up! I want to go back to this part. I love the rhythm of this. The way that he sings it. And with that bass? Okay. Okay, I actually really like this. Ooh. Okay, I can't explain it. There's just something so satisfying with this whole verse. The way that Tom just sings it is... it's intoxicating. I really like that. I love that synth in the background. Oh, got that bass line back. With some extra percussion there. Yeah! The drums in this are so good. Ooh. Okay. I love the drums, it's just like... sounds so good. Okay. It just sounds like someone's clapping there. But it sounds really offbeat. Again, just taking out the drums. Wow. Oh, and then just... okay. That was so interesting, that drum part. The reverb on his voice is amazing. I feel like it's occurring to me now. Oh, that bass. Ooh. Okay, I like that vocal effect that's there in the background. Oh, that kick! Hold up, that kick is so nasty at the end there. You just hear it. Oh. I love that. Okay. Well, that was Lotus Flower, and I'm gonna be very honest, I can see why that is the most popular song on this album. Oh my, there's something so intoxicating about this verse right here. I feel like it's the way that the bass of Tom's voice sits with the actual bass line of the song. It just, I don't know, it's just amazing. It sounds great, and the drums in this were actually very groovy. So this song, from looking at the lyrics, makes me think of trying to fit yourself into something that doesn't necessarily fit what you're for. Sort of trying to mold yourself into a space where you're not molded for. And then here, when it says there's an empty space inside my heart where the weeds take root, makes me think of sort of a relationship that hasn't gone very well, and you just got now this like hole inside of your heart, and there's all this bad stuff that's growing from it. Lotus Flower, a new addition to what you have to say is a fairly slender catalogue of Radiohead songs about having it all, is as plaintive and sensual as the preceding tracks are opaque and remote. It's this album's greatest hit and one of the few Radiohead songs to have spawned a meme, thanks to Tom York's peculiar dancing on the music video. Gotta see this. He dances like this when he's performing live though too. This is just Tom. Okay. Well, I'm glad a meme spawned from that at least. Oh wow, okay, this is actually way different to what I thought it was. It's been confirmed that Tom dedicated this song to his children. I will shape myself into your pocket, invisible do you want. As a parent, he will always be there looking out for his children, but he is willing to let them live their own life and create their own legacy. Wow. This lyric here expands on, well, these lyrics here, expand on, all he can do as an artist is try to explain himself in this regard when he has so much that he wants to say that he feels as though no one could ever understand. This song seems to sort of be about multiple themes here, relationships and dedicating this song to his kids. I actually think it's really quite beautiful. Honestly, it's an amazing song. Next up, we have got Codex. Oh. Okay, I do like this piano. Piano always sounds so good in Radiohead songs, man. They always just do it so well. But it sounds like it's got an effect on it too, though. I just realised there's this constant in the back. Really like that vocal. Wow. Oh my god, his voice sounds gorgeous in this. Wow, this is such a good song. Everything just sounds amazing. Ooh! Is that brass instruments? Just Tom following along to them? Wow! I swear, every Radiohead that has piano in gives me goosebumps. Wow. That sounds beautiful. Oh wow. God, that piano. Oh. Yeah, it's when those brass instruments come in, I just get full goosebumps. Okay. Oh! Just got these gorgeous strings been added. Wow. My god, this piano part, I can't get over it. It just sounds absolutely amazing, actually. Okay. Okay, totally different to the whole rest of the song. Does this go into the next song? Yes, it does. Okay, we'll go back. Right. Wow. Okay, I was, honestly, the first 2 songs off this, or even the first 3 songs, I was a little bit worried at what I was in for. I'm going to be very, very honest here. I didn't particularly enjoy the first couple songs on this album. Yes, of course, I'm still going to react, and of course there's still going to be some elements that I like, but I wouldn't particularly choose to listen to those songs in my spare time. Whereas moving on to this next part of the album, Feral, Lotus Flower, and Codex, wow, I love them. Feral only has 11 million plays. That should have far more. Yes, it is a really freaking weird song, but there's something about that weirdness that makes me so drawn in by it. I mean, Lotus Flower, what a great song. And Codex? The piano? Dude, this song makes me feel really quite sad. As though someone has it feels like a very hopeless song. As though the person either Tom's singing about or thinking about feels very hopeless. And it's though by saying the water's clear and innocent perhaps gives this impression of the grass is greener on the other side kind of thing. Codex is a narcoticized cousin to Pyramid Song that features woozily flanged piano chords, long plaintive horn trills, and York at his most evocative. Yeah, his voice in this was insane. Codex is a Latin word which literally translates to block of wood in English. In Savionaic forest, I apologise if I pronounced that wrong, there's an ancient tree given the title of the King of Limbs. This tree is believed to be the inspiration for the album's title. Savionaic Forest is located near Tottenham House, where the Radiohead recorded part of their previous album, In Rainbows. This entire portion seems to suggest that the narrator has something he is hiding on his mind, maybe a betrayal. When you first hear Jump Off the End, one tends to think something awful, particularly when the music resolves at that moment to a more pleasing and comforting harmony, suggesting perhaps jumping off the end is going to resolve the problem. Off the end of what? A bridge? A building? No. Presumably a pier into a lake. That seems almost comforting considering the possible image and the tense harmonies of the song at point. But what is he hiding? What is the betrayal? Could Codex have something to do with it? Codex is an ancient manuscript in book form. Wow. Okay. It says here all ancient manuscripts of the Bible were written as codices? Could it be that the narrator has done something or thought something that goes against his religious convictions? Okay, what a very actual, powerful, moving song, and also it may be that the whole vibe of the song is actually an opposement of to what it actually means. Like when he says jump off the end into a lake, jumping off the end makes you think of quite a dark thing, whereas into a clear lake sounds beautiful. Next song, we have got Give Up the Ghost, which this song transitions into, which I actually do quite like. Okay. Oh! Okay, was not expecting an acoustic guitar to just be drawn out right there. Wow. Okay, and then you've got this. These melodies just been playing out on the guitar here. I love the. Ooh. Okay. This song is super weird. I can't figure out what that instrument is. It's probably just one of the effects that they have on the guitar. Yeah, it sounds like this instrument that's playing in this ear, it sounds like it's Tom's voice, but like really manipulated through, I don't even know what it could be manipulated through, either a guitar or some sort of synth that's changing it. But I really like that. Let me just have Don't Hurt Me being repeated. Ooh! Oh, damn. Oof. Is that a brass instrument I can hear? Dude, this song is actually a lot more in-depth than I thought. It initially sounds like it just sort of starts off with a couple instruments, but it just seems like there's more and more and more layered than you initially see. Oh, I like that. That just sounds like a guitar that's doing that. I can't tell if that's actually a kick or if it's just when you hit the guitar and it's picking that up. The vocal effects on this are amazing. Oh, great guitar part. And we've got so much atmosphere just added over the top of this here. That's so weird, this thing that's in this ear. It just feels really weird. Okay, this has actually been on my mind for a previous song, but I can't remember which song it was, and I just totally forgot to say it. It might have been Little by Little, but I could be really wrong. For some reason, the way that the vocals have been arranged or edited, or the reverb that's on there, you know, whatever it is, for some reason I'm getting like very Beatles vibes from the vocals. Like, the instruments don't sound anything like the Beatles to me, but the actual way that the vocals are processed reminds me a lot of the Beatles for some reason. That was a really nice song. Not my favourite, but I did like the acoustic guitar that was in that. For some reason, a part of me is making me think of, especially when it says give up the ghost, and it says I think I should give up the ghost, makes me think of sort of like mental health, and you are trying to, you know, let go of these things which you feel as though are holding you back, maybe? I don't know. Right, the about section is not very helpful, but apparently the don't hurt me phrase is a mantra that is cycled through a loop to eventually lose its prominence, so you're sort of supposed to just allow it to fade out in the background. Ghost could translate into spirit, which actually has a double meaning with wine and strong booze. Addiction always haunts us all. Also, everybody, like the lost and sold and pitiful, are strongly attracted by these ghosts. They gather in bars on weekends and make the impossible happen, forgetting all their fears, tears, and maybe the sorrow. Oh wow. This one here says, even though we dislike characteristics or events in our lives, everything that happens to us becomes a part of us, and as we evaluate ourselves and reflect on our lives, we realize that the things we want to expel or to give up make us who we are. Give up the ghost. How then can we possibly give up the ghost or move on from these thoughts and experiences we'd rather forget when they become a part of who we are? Wow. Okay. I actually quite like the meaning behind the lyrics in this song. It was a lot different to what I had personally interpreted as, because I didn't really know what I was listening to, I guess. The last song is Separator, starting off with this groovy drum beat. I do like this. I like the simplicity of those chords. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Even the way that he says vivid dream sounds like how the Beatles would sing it. I love it. So far the song's very simplistic. Feels just like drums, those chords, and Tom's voice. Oh, I'm getting a bass here now though. That sounds like an upright bass though. I love that open hat. Okay. Okay, I like this little rhyming pattern here. Cover, beholder, water. I don't know, there's something about it, the way that he sings it, which sounds way better than just saying the words individually. I do like that bass line. It's very subtle, but when it's there, and when it's not there, it's noticeable that it's not. Ooh! Oh! I like that guitar. Oof. This guitar is really nice. That's so cool. He just has that will wake me up in this ear. Oh, now it's in this ear. I really like those guitars. Oh. This sounds a little bit eerie. I do like that sounds really nice. I also like this part of the song. It's very simplistic, but the way that he sings it sounds great. I love that kick in that. Wow. No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Nearly heard part of another album there. Jesus. What an interesting song. Really like the drums in this. And I really like the way that Tom sang some of the lyrics here. Like, his vocal melody was great. And the rhyming in this as well is also really beautiful. This to me feels like it mentions particularly some sort of awakening, maybes. And it sort of feels as though it's about seeing things a lot more clearly in your life. But then it goes back here to wake me up, will you wake me up? And then maybe this refers to a relationship, perhaps, to, you know, if you think that this is not working, just let me know, wake me up from whatever facade is happening in my head. That's sort of what I get from it. Looking from the annotations, though, they're very disappointing. I mean, even looking up here, there's literally nothing going on. And that's like all the annotations ever. But yeah, that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from the song, is waking up from this dream that you've sort of been living your whole life. Maybe it's coming to reality in terms of where you are. Not necessarily, I mean, it could refer to being in Tom's position and being famous and finally sort of waking up. But I feel like it sort of refers more to you kind of realising what you want from life, and finally it's time that you kind of got on with that. Other than that, I'm not sure. But anyways, wow, that was The King of Limbs. One of Radiohead's more controversial albums, I would say, in terms of people's opinions. I personally was pleasantly surprised from what I got. It didn't start off strong, I'm not gonna lie, for me, it didn't start off particularly strong. But then, like I mentioned before, once we get into these kind of songs here, I do prefer it. I'd say Feral, Lotus Flower, Codex, and Separator for me make it a bit better of an album, whereas Bloom, Morning Mr. Magpie, I don't know, I feel like it was very experimental, and usually Radiohead can do repetition very well, but for me it just felt too repetitive. That didn't feel like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like one of Radiohead's repetitive songs. It felt like a different band had made it, and had made it just too repetitive, in my opinion. But in terms of the actual whole album, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's their best album by far, but and it's not a bad album to listen to. I've 100% listened to a lot worse albums than this that I literally could not even get through. So I don't think I need to do an Edison Amy in this. Actually, that's not true. She has zero idea what she's on about. This is Editing Amy right here. Listening back whilst editing the video and having listened to it once or twice since recording this video, I actually genuinely quite like the album. Again, do I think it's Radiohead's best work? No, not at all. Do I think what I rated it in this video is still accurate? Yes. But by far, it's not a bad album. I genuinely, from listening back to it, do actually enjoy it. I think I can just rate it by the by as it is right here. I would probably just give this, I'm leaning on a 6 to a 7. Because it's not my favourite thing that they've done. But then you've got some songs here which really pull it up into more of even like an 8 to a 9 range for me. I mean, Feral, what an amazing song, but yet it hardly has any plays whatsoever. It's so weird, but the bass is so good in it. Like, what an underrated song. I have been requested a lot to listen to the In Basement version of In Rainbows, and particularly this song. I have seen a lot of people say that they prefer the In Basement version of this album way over this album. Basically, they say that the Basement version you're talking like a 9 or 10 album there, just the way that they perform it live. I did actually try to record an In Basement version of In Rainbows, but I'm having some copyright issues. It actually warns me saying that over 61% of you won't be able to see it. If it had been like, I don't know, 1% of you guys can't see it, I would have been like, okay, let's just take the risk and upload it. But 61% of people who watch my videos won't be able to watch it. I'm not having that. I think YouTubers can be great, but I do think that sometimes the copyright policies are just a little bit too strict. It sort of feels like you can't have any fun on YouTube anymore. Yeah, I think copyright nowadays, especially as a musician myself, I think copyright is a little bit too strict. Because if someone wanted to use my song in their video, if they just put in the description that was the song that they used, I literally would not care. I would not want royalties from them. I would not want them to give me more credit or whatever. All you have to do, just leave a little link in the description, and other than that, like, I just think copyright is a little bit ridiculous nowadays. Nothing that I can do about it other than do the appeals, which is what I've done. I just want to say thank you so much for all of the support that you guys have given me on this channel. I mean, I posted my video the other day and you guys just left so many beautiful comments. Like, genuine, really nice, heartfelt, thoughtful comments you guys left, and I just want to say I do genuinely appreciate that. I take my time to sit through and read everybody's comments, but yeah, honestly, your support really means a lot to me. I cannot express how grateful I am. Me and Snoopy are very, very grateful. I love when people comment under my videos when they've gotten to the end of the silly things that I make them comment, such as Snoopy or water bottle or whatever else I've made you guys randomly comment. Other than the King of Limbs, the basement version, as long as I can figure out copyright things in terms of that, the last reaction that we have from Radiohead is a moon-shaped pool, which feels crazy to think that this is the last album that we have to listen to. Like, I can't believe we start off here and we just worked our way through. See, if you'd like me to listen to In Rainbow's Disc 2, let me know. I do have a big question. After Radiohead, what do you guys want me to react to? I don't know if you would like me to do another deep dive of an artist. I have mentioned Pink Floyd before, which a couple of people have said that they wouldn't mind me doing. Or would you like me to just listen to a random few albums and then we can do another deep dive into an artist? I was actually thinking of doing a deep dive to Alice in Chains. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, but I would be very much down to do a deep dive to Alice in Chains. I actually listened to, I want to say it was Man in the Box and Bleed the Freak. I did actually listen to these two songs today. I would be interested. I would happily do a deep dive into these guys. Or if you would like me to react to anything else, just let me know. I have actually had a couple comments of people giving me things to react to, which I will pick a few of them and I'll make a poll on my community posts and see what people would want me to react to next. I have had Jeff Buckley recommended, which I would love to do. But yeah, I just want to say thank you all so much for the support on the videos. It means so much to me. If you made it up to this part in the video, I would like you to comment. What would I like you to comment? I'd like you to comment shampoo, because I'm about to go in the shower after this and I'm going to wash my hair, and obviously to wash my hair I need some shampoo. So if you made it to this far, comment shampoo. And me and Snoops, as always, will see you guys in another video. That was Radiohead's The King of Limbs.